Right, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Mac and Me, 1988. This is going to be another E.T. ripoff. But the aliens are ugly. They look like hairless cats blown up 5 to 10 times with hands and feet. They walk around bow-legged. Their stomach hanging out. They don't have any genitals. So Mac stands for a mysterious alien contact or something like that. The mystery is how he became named Mac in the first place, because the movie doesn't really tell you. It's just a big, long advertisement for Mickey D's, Skittles, and Coca-Cola. And it's just rated as one of the worst movie of all time. I think it's in the 3 to 4 range on IMDb out of 10. Honestly, I gave this movie 1 out of 5 stars. I hated it. The music was horrible. The scene at McDonald's is like an MTV video with people dancing around while they're eating their Frenchy fries or whatever. I guess it's the only movie that has Ronald McDonald. I'd rather watch Herschel Gordon Lewis flick. Was it Blast Off Girls when I saw Colonel Sanders handing out a bucket of his fried chicken? That was much better than this one. This one is just painful to watch. There isn't much dialogue, but when they're just driving around aimlessly to some gas station place, now I had to keep rewinding it, thinking that I missed some dialogue, because you can't tell the difference really between the dialogue and the empty space, mostly because the acting and the script writing is so bad. There's an infamous scene where the kid goes down the hill in his wheelchair and ends up in a lake similar to the one behind me right now, but not as big. So the kid's drowning. The alien saves him, of course. And get this, the aliens use straws, stick them in the ground to drink soda pop on their alien planet. Their energy source is Coca-Cola, and the smaller lost alien, Mac, who befriends the disabled kid. He likes Skittles too, I guess. And then, so the aliens are drinking from the planet through their straw in the ground. And all of a sudden, some kind of NASA machine pops up on their planet, vacuums them up like Casper the Ghost. And then they pop out on Earth, kind of lost. One of them separates, the Mac alien separates, ends up hiding in the disabled kid's van, the kid with the wheelchair. It's confusing where this takes place because they're driving to their new house somewhere in Sacramento, probably a cheap house back in 1988. Because the mom works at Sears. I don't know if she got life insurance proceeds or what. She's a single mom. That part wasn't clear. But Yeah, everybody works menial jobs in this movie, but they have nice houses. For instance, the teenage babe next door, she works at Mickey D. She falls in love with the disabled guy's older brother. And then Mac is kind of hanging out the house, causing havoc, and he turns the inside into a jungle type living room. The only funny part I thought was when they tried to suck Mac up into a vacuum cleaner again. The girl's got some kind of backpack tube on her back, and then she's got the vacuum cleaner trying to suck him in. So Mac goes inside the tube on her back, the container, and all of a sudden she's flying around the floor, the walls, and the ceiling. That part was unintentionally funny, in my opinion. That was the only part of the movie that I really enjoyed. The rest of the movie sucked big dick. So it's like an E.T. ripoff, only the disabled kid is supposed to be like Elliot. And you got these G-men chasing the alien around, just like in E.T. Although instead of flying bikes through the air, the disabled kid just flies around on his wheelchair. You know, he grabs the truck with his hand. And he starts. Then he goes into Sears, and I guess the G-men lose him because the alien has some kind of electrical power in his fingers, so he can blow up the televisions in Sears. So they take him out to the desert. Two girls living in the neighbor's house, and the two boys just moved. Like I said, it's unclear where they live because you see the sign that says Sacramento, but the other aliens are in Palm Springs, and there's no way they can make it from Sacramento to Palm Springs that quick, unless they were heading south towards Palm Springs, and they just showed up somewhere in Southern California at this house where this lady's working at Sears, somewhere close to Palm Springs. So it's unclear if it's close to Sacramento or close to Palm Springs because the scenes are so close together. Anyways, there's a lack of continuity there. Continuity, I guess. And so they find the aliens out in the desert. I guess they're able to communicate to each other by going like this and whistling. So they're in some kind of mine. I don't know if it's, it looks like a mine shaft or something. But fortunately, they have a couple of cans of soda in the ice cooler in the van. So that manages to snap them out of near death. The Coca-Cola, of course. So they just pop by the gas station, and similar to Howard the Duck, the reactions that people make are varied. So the girl in the car screams because the alien's misbehaving, trying to steal her Sprite. Then all of a sudden the aliens are walking around in some Walmart-looking place trying to steal soda. Grab the security guard's gun. Then the cops show up, start shooting first, asking questions later. It caused a huge explosion, which actually looks pretty cool. The aliens just walk right through it, but unfortunately, the disabled boy is dead. But using their magic fingers, the electricity, they bring the disabled boy back to life. So that's the end of the story. The cops just inexplicably stand there for like 5 to 10 minutes watching them do their magic. Whatever. I really had a hard time following this movie, and not just in one spot, but in many spots I had to rewind just to, because my brain wasn't turned off. I couldn't pay attention to my brain was turned off. I couldn't pay attention to the dialogue. So that's why I hated this movie. Bad acting, bad dialogue. It's not one of those so bad that it's good type movies, although it did have its moments a couple times, but it wasn't enough to give it a 2-star, similar to the rating on IMDb. I just hated this flick. There are no bonus features either. It's just got the trailer with Ronald McDonald saying, "Hey, this is my first movie." Anyways, it was probably his last. I know a couple of actresses. I've seen them in a couple movies. But other than that, it's mostly people that I don't recognize. And so I just hired a bunch of nobodies who never had any big careers, I guess, or never made it big on in Hollywood. Not exactly mainstream actors here, which you would think would make it a better movie, but no. The script and the dialogue had to ruin it for me. And I was hoping so much I would like this movie because it had such a bad reputation for being one of the worst movies of all time. But it's not worth your time. Skip it. Don't watch it. Laters.